Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a good day. So, that Nintendo Direct I thought was actually pretty incredible. I wasn't actually sure if I was going to make this video. You know, the Direct came out sort of overnight from when, from where I am in the UK. It was late last night, 10 o'clock. That's usually about when I'm going to bed. So yeah, I didn't know if I was going to make this video, but actually watching the Direct early this morning, I thought it was really good. There was basically something for everybody, wasn't there? And so I thought, yeah, I'd love to make a video, react and talk about it. So this one was announced in a bit of a hurry. I mean, we kind of knew that there was something coming. There was rumors, things like that, but it was only really announced the day before it was actually going to appear on YouTube. And I think really the expectations of this Direct were in two minds. You know, I heard some people talking about the fact that maybe the Switch is winding down now, it's coming to its 7th year, and so maybe there wouldn't be very much stuff. And then on the other hand, some people thinking, well, actually, you know, Nintendo are not going to put out a new console anytime soon, so there'll be loads of stuff for the Switch. And actually, I think it's fallen into the latter camp, really. There's loads of stuff. There really is something in this one for everybody, I think. No matter what type of game you like on the Switch, I think you're going to be quite happy. I could be wrong, and correct me if I'm wrong, you know, if there was nothing out there for you, but I think it was really good. I'm personally really happy with it, and we'll sort of dive into why. So I'll start with Pikmin 4. So I've mentioned in a previous video that I was actually kind of looking forward to Pikmin 4. I'd quite like to try it. I've never really played a Pikmin game before, but I'm interested to see, you know, what Pikmin 4 might be like. And we got that original trailer last year, which didn't have very much, but we finally got some gameplay now. And it, you know, it looks pretty good actually. Not really having played Pikmin before, I can't tell entirely what's new and what's not there. I'm pretty sure ice is new. I don't remember ever seeing the ability to freeze water before, so I'm sure that's interesting. That's going to add some sort of new depth to the gameplay, being able to freeze water, as well as, you know, if you still have the blue Pikmin and you can travel across water with those. I think options are always good in games, so you know, never going to say no to that. And of course, the new dog-like creature, as they put it, I mean, it's very cute, isn't it? And that is totally different to anything that I've ever seen in a Pikmin game before. It's much bigger. It seems like it can carry bigger things all on its own and smash through things all on its own. I don't know, it's almost like a super-powered Pikmin, isn't it? But those boss fights, though, those look really cool and creepy, don't they? There's that one with all the legs and it's stomping down the ground and you're sort of having to avoid it. I can just see, you know, Pikmin dying to that, getting stomped on and their little souls waving off. I thought the grub one just looked really gross and cool. There seems to be an element of finding other characters. You know, they talked about Castaway. You know, maybe you'll get to play as other characters, maybe not, I'm not really sure. We'll have to get some more information to see how that plays in. Yeah, it was really good to see Pikmin 4 gameplay, and the release date's not too far away. I think it was July. So actually that's really exciting. Advance Wars, I'm so happy that Advance Wars got mentioned. I was really hoping it would. I actually popped it in I did a little poll just before this Nintendo Direct to see what people thought, and I put Advance Wars on there and I was really hoping that we would see it. And we did, and it's finally got a release date. I was really looking forward to it originally when it came out. I'm a big fan of Advance Wars from back on the Game Boy. And so I've been really looking forward to these remakes. I'm really happy that they're now finally coming again. They were delayed, and I understand why they were delayed, but it feels like they've been delayed for a very long time now, and I was starting to wonder if they were ever going to come out. But they're coming out this year, and they're only coming out in 2 months' time. They're really not that very far away. That's probably one of my favourite things of this entire Direct, just finally knowing that Advance Wars is coming soon. And there are a lot of other good things in this Direct. That's probably one of my favourites. Some other exciting things to come as well, but yeah, let me know if you're excited to finally get your hands on Advance Wars as well, just like I am. Okay, moving on. So there was a new addition to the Nintendo Switch online service announced, and it's Game Boy! Finally! Honestly, I'd given up on Game Boy. I really didn't think we were going to get anything more for the Nintendo Switch online service. I'm really happy that they've finally done Game Boy, and then I can't believe they've done Game Boy Advance as well, getting both of them at the same time. It's one of those things where you think it should have happened that way, but because it's Nintendo, it probably wouldn't have happened that way, but it actually has. They've released both at the same time. And I'm excited. I really like the fact that you can change the filter on the Game Boy one between sort of like the color and the original one. That's really nice. Although I will definitely use the color only. I have no nostalgia for the original Game Boy because my first one was the color. The games for me are okay, and this is somebody who Game Boy was my first console, so I have a lot of nostalgia, but the games are only okay. I'm excited for Wario Land 3 because I had that. The Zelda titles for sure are sort of like standout games for me. Link to the Past, and then on the Game Boy Advance, the Minish Cap I never played, so actually I'm quite excited to have a go with that. And then you could see in future titles coming out, there was the 2 Oracle Zelda games. So it'd be really good having a modern way to play those again. And then, you know, you could see down the line there was a Fire Emblem game, there was Metroid Fusion. Metroid Fusion is one that I used to play. But honestly, I'm so baffled by Nintendo's decision not to include a Pokemon game. and I'm not counting the trading card game, I mean a mainline Pokemon game. They've put the Game Boy Advance on the expansion pack plus, the one that you have to pay more for in order to access that. What better way to entice people to play that than to put a Game Boy Advance Pokemon game on there? Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Surely, I don't know if I'm going crazy, but surely if you want people to sign up to pay that extra money, those are the games that are going to do it. And it's not even like they tease them as coming down the line, they've just not included them at all, which I don't know, does that mean they're never coming? That would be a weird decision, I think. I don't know, what do you think? I just think it's odd. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I kind of would have thought it would be a no-brainer to add those Pokemon games if you wanted people to sign up for the service. Still though, I am really excited to get Game Boy games, and since it now kind of feels like maybe the Switch isn't on its last legs, maybe that means down the line we will get some new games, and I really do hope they continue to grow this service through the next Switch or whatever it is they do next. It would be a real shame if they spent all this time starting to add these consoles and then for the next iteration of their hardware they just start from scratch again. That would be so awful. So it does give me hope that we'll get some more titles down the line, and then eventually they'll move on to GameCube and things like that. But Game Boy, yeah, what do you think of Game Boy? So the Metroid Prime Remaster is one that I'm really excited for as well. We finally heard something about a Metroid game, even if it's not Metroid Prime 4. But, you know, I think most of us will take Metroid Prime Remaster. I think most of us are quite happy for that. That is definitely something that fans have been crying out for, to have Metroid Prime on the Switch. The old ones, I think really everybody wanted the whole trilogy to be ported over from the Wii. I think there was a collection. We didn't get that. We got number 1 instead. Still, I think number 1 will be good. It will keep people happy. I hope this means that Metroid Prime 4 is coming soonish and they're sort of using this to build up some excitement and get people interested. I've never actually played a Metroid Prime game the whole way through. I did play, I want to say number 3 on the Wii, but back then I sort of, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of motion controls, aiming like that. So I'm really glad that they've added, you know, dual stick controls to the remaster. I think it makes sense for them to do it. I would be surprised if they hadn't done. But you know, it'll be pretty exciting. I have sort of gotten back into Metroid recently. Metroid Dread was just incredible, wasn't it? And I've been considering going back and playing Samus Returns on the 3DS. So actually to have another Metroid game on the Switch and for it to be shadow dropped, you know, just like that, just you can go and play it now. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of torn. I kind of want a physical release, which doesn't come out just yet. It comes out next month, but at the same time I want to play it now. So I'm not sure which one I'll go for. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing Metroid Prime Remastered. Let me know if you will as well. So, okay, so I'm going to talk about 2 games together now. That's because they're both by the same developer. It's Fantasy Life and a new Professor Layton game. And to be honest, it's such a surprise that we're getting both of these games. Level 5 has sort of dropped off in the West completely. Up until now, they seem to have stopped localizing games for the West. You know, a lot of their games didn't sell very well over here. And so to a lot of fans' disappointment, they sort of decided to give up. But they seem to be back, and they've brought 2 games at the same time, and 2 really surprising games as well. Now, no release dates for these, especially Professor Layton seems to be really early in development because we just got a very small teaser, but it will be so good having a Professor Layton game on the Switch. I know we had the sort of the spin-off type game with his daughter, but to have actual Professor Layton in a game on the Switch I think will be incredible. And then Fantasy Life, who would have thought a Fantasy Life sequel would come? Not me, that's for sure. I never would have guessed it. Maybe a port of the original Fantasy Life, but not a Fantasy Life sequel. I'm actually playing Fantasy Life on and off right now. I've been playing the 3DS a lot. I've done a video about that. There's another video coming actually about a different game, but I have been playing Fantasy Life on and off. And I've been really enjoying it, and it's kind of cool to see these iconic classes, and you know, the Nap Dragon is back. You saw the Nap Dragon in the trailer. I will admit that after playing the 3DS version and seeing the graphics of this sequel, the graphics kind of threw me off a little bit at first. I wasn't sure about them. I'm still not sure if I like them completely, but I do really like the idea of sort of rebuilding the island. I'm hoping that means that whichever life you pick will have sort of a greater impact on your surroundings. I'm not too far into the original Fantasy Life, but I am enjoying switching between different things, you know, making armor and clothes and potions and things like that. But it kind of looks like here you can build buildings and change how the island looks, and you'll use your lives to maybe develop the island, which actually I think is really exciting now that I think about it. Just really completely came out of nowhere for me, but yeah, 2 games that I am very excited about, and I hope we don't have too long to wait, although I think, yeah, Professor Layton definitely won't be this year. Okay, I think we all knew that something like this was coming, but we got a good look at Tears of the Kingdom. And honestly, it looks really good, doesn't it? I think it looks really good. It's definitely, absolutely now, you can 100% say that it's a darker vibe than Breath of the Wild for sure. Who was that mysterious voice that wanted to wipe out Hyrule? I think it said something like wipe out this kingdom and her allies. So does that mean that we might see people from other places. They seem to be teasing new mechanics, new enemies. There seems to be these flying enemies now, and those flying enemies seem to be carrying normal enemies. And is it just me, or do they seem to be taking some inspiration from the things that players worked out from the original Breath of the Wild? So there was sort of like that flying platform that Link looked like he was controlling. Kind of reminds me when in Breath of the Wild players used to sort of like trick their way into levitating objects and flying. So that seems pretty cool. There was one point where you could see shield surfing but on rails, and you know, now you see it looks fun. It seems like such an obvious way to move forward with the shield surfing mechanic. Honestly, I'm trying not to get too excited for this game because overhyping stuff is never really a good idea, is it? But it looks really good. I think it looks really good. I thought that the score they put in the second half of the trailer, it was sort of like that dramatic symphony that really got me excited to dive into the world and go on an adventure, I guess. You know, that's what Breath of the Wild was about. It was about going on an adventure. And I think that Tears of the Kingdom looks similar as well. But still, so many questions, you know. What's going on with Link's arm? Is Zelda going to be all right? He's diving after Zelda. She's definitely falling somewhere quite far. You know, it looks very dangerous. Is she going to be all right? Like I said, who was the voice? So much really to unpack in the trailer. You know, there's going to be 100 YouTube videos of people unpacking that like 3 or 4 minute trailer. But you know, I can understand it. It's very exciting. Still on track for the May release date. For a second, I actually thought they'd moved it up. I originally thought it was June for some reason. I thought they'd moved it up to May, but no, I think it's always been May. So they're just reconfirming the date and that it's not being delayed. So that's really good to hear as well. Yeah, just Tears of the Kingdom. Great to see it there. Great to see some more info and the same release date. How excited for Tears of the Kingdom are you? So those were my favourite things from this Nintendo Direct. As I say, I thought it was a really, really good Nintendo Direct, and there's something for everybody. Like, even I've just listed loads of stuff there that was really good for me, and I think there's even more. There's stuff that, you know, I'm not super interested in, but other people will be. They announced more DLC for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which I've not played. They announced some meaty looking DLC for Splatoon 3 as well, which is a game that I've sort of played on and off, but I'm not really into, so I'm not that excited about the DLC, but you know, I can see that it would be a really exciting thing if you are into that. They sort of teased new stuff on Mario Kart, which I am really excited about, but I just don't think there was enough there to talk about it. You know, there's like one track and a new character. When we get the full 8 courses and maybe a proper release date, then I think I'll be excited for that. But overall, I think just a really big variety. You know, Fire Emblem DLC, Kirby game, the Bayonetta game, there's remakes of Etrian Odyssey, there's just really, like, it was a jam-packed Nintendo Direct, and yeah, I think it was a really, really strong start to the year for Nintendo, and I think it sets out what could be a really good year for the Nintendo Switch. How about you guys though? What were your favourite bits of the Nintendo Direct? Let me know down in the comments. Do you think it's going to be a good year for the Switch like I do? Thanks so much for watching. This was quite a quickly thrown together video, so I hope it was okay. I just wanted to get my reaction to the Direct out there while it was fresh. Thanks again, and I hope to see you in the next video.